Right, so I have returned once again today to do the next part of Sangatsu no Line. So this part actually concludes Volume 3. Right, so YouTube has just kicked in, just in case. Dolce Gabbana advert? Why am I getting adverts now? Yeah, everything's working fine. That is hunky dory. Just seeing whether or not everything was working fine, because sometimes it doesn't. I am doing quite fine. How are you doing? Yeah, so we are actually concluding a Volume 3 this stream. So we're going from chapters 27 to 32, and I believe it ends on a massive kind of like a development for Rei's character. Because at the moment I think we're going into Shimada versus Rei, which is kind of like a very pinnacle point. But I think as of afterwards, we're probably going to get like the kind of development we see in Rei just kind of flourish. So yes, with all that said, let's see whether or not everything's actually working internet-wise, because it looks as if it's going to be going a bit weird. Just to kind of give a quick check and see if everything actually is working. Otherwise, you never know with these things. Yeah, everything is working. Otherwise, it seemed a little bit weird. It didn't seem right. I do. I don't tend to forget anyone. Do not worry. Jesus Christ! I almost dropped my water. Always been one of those kind of people. I never forget anyone's face or anything. I'm actually pretty good at those kind of things. Like names are kind of beyond me, but faces I will remember. I don't know why. I've always been like that. That's how I roll, as they say. But yeah. Anyhow, let's start with 27. So, chapter 27, Beyond the Door. Mac at the moment, I actually use both. I use Windows and Mac because I have a Windows computer and a Mac computer, because some don't really work. Some things don't really work well on one thing and works better on the other, and vice versa. So I have to use both. This one I use mainly for streaming these kind of things, and the other one I use mainly for streaming games because it just doesn't work on here. This one just chugs like no one's business using OBS plus anything else. That's why I have two. Pretty good though. It's actually a pretty good setup. Anyway, 27 Beyond the Door. So she's just a pain in the ass. I know that was an attempt to provoke me. I've got no choice, but. Shimada Kai, 8th Dan, length of reign in A class 5 years. First of all is today. If I don't win today, nothing gets started. I can't find any special characteristics, strategies he's good at, or things he's bad at. There's nothing to grasp onto. I've never played against him before, but that's right. I saw him when he came as a lecturer for a children's shogi tournament when I was in elementary school. He was terribly thin and very tall, a quiet person. I've been winning and progressing to the later rounds, so I can only see him from very far away. He didn't leave much of an impression on me though. Other than to win shogi, he's a person who plays refusing to lose shogi. My games with those kinds of people gets really long. I'm not good with them, but I mustn't get nervous. He'll latch onto that. Be calm. Goto gave it to me not long ago. I could not lose here, no matter what. In the match, I got black and made an Yagura enclosure. It's been all standard play so far. Now the war begins. Here we go. So, B7C, P5E, P5E, S5E, R5B. Is he planning to defend it all off? Then he pulled the trigger. So he's planning to bring his rook around. Then I will too. It's getting kind of hard to make moves. At times like this, you firmly enclose the king. Hold on a second. This is weird. I was supposed to be attacking. When did I start defending? What is this? How did it get this bad? I didn't make any mistakes. I'm sure I didn't. So why? How did this become so severe? I do not have any attack moves left. Shit. Jeez. So you finally look this way, huh? Oh, I remember this in the anime. This was one of the pinnacle points. I was like, oh, just that line alone, just like, So I love that man. Man, I love him so much. He's my boy. So it's can I pronounce that word correctly? It's Anija, I think is how you pronounce it. I believe. I might be wrong. Why did you come here, Bo? You didn't have a match today, right? So Anija, you have a fever. You still have one. And your fever? You still have one, don't you? You need to take care of yourself. Your advancements depend on it. Didn't you promise to not push yourself too hard to both Master and I? In exchange, we said we won't tell anybody. Remember? Yeah. I'll go home and lie down soon. Sorry. Well, me too. Sorry for suddenly pressing you like that. I was just surprised you were here. So, what is it, Bo? Do you have something you want to tell me? Yes. The thing is, Anija, I want you to knock Kiriyama's brains out. That Bo. I was wondering what he was gonna say, and it was... Okay then. Something troublesome again. Shall we continue? Chapter 27, end. So, chapter 28, Blinding Darkness. Shall we continue? With those words, I looked at the board, and instantly I came back to my senses. I cannot continue. That's how bad this is. First thing I felt was shock, and then I was overcome by burning embarrassment. Until a minute ago, what kind of person did I think this man was? My games with those kind of people get really long. I'm not good with them. What the hell, those kind of people? Mustn't get nervous. He'll latch onto that. Who the hell do I think I am? I mustn't get nervous. Just how badly did I misread this person? I just want to win, so I played a type of shogi where I was prolonging the game, waiting for my opponent to make a mistake. In my head, I reduced my opponent to his rank. I cannot lose here, no matter what. Without understanding the ability of the opponent in front of me, I let my mind be overtaken by a grudge, provoked by another A-class player. I brushed him aside as if he were a mere minor character. Am I that stupid? I want to run. I want to disappear. It's pitch black, but blindingly bright. I can't breathe. I've got to get away. Get away. Get away. It's painful. By simply clearing his throat there, I knew he was telling me calm down. With that prod and my mind in chaos, I madly tried to find a move, and I realized that fact that I've been practically belittling him, and that I only just now realized it and gotten abashed. This man not only saw through it all, but he had sat it all quietly. If I simply ran away in the middle of the game just because of my own embarrassment, that would be something truly selfish. And so, I continued to play, scrapping together every desperate ploy I could think of, but achieving any recovery. That match ended, and then a battle of thoughts began. From where? Then, from here. Why don't you try advancing a little? R5H from there? Wait, what? What manifested? I can't say that word now. What manifested on the board was where the turning point had been, but from here, from a place like this, then how about P5D? It was already going wrong there. G5D, S5D, S5D, B2D, P2D. Ah, then if I went like this, P1E, P1E, S5E, S3E, Oh, it's S3, the original one. It's got that one. I read it and thought it said a 5, but it's a 3. I do apologise for that as well. B3E, P plus 3G. L1E, L1E, P3D, S4B. Freaking heat is getting to my brain now. England's like on the brink of some kind of summer that we never had in our lifetimes, and the heat's just getting to everyone. It's getting to the point that everyone's like, oh my god, the summer's here, but everyone's like, yeah, we don't want it here, to be honest. It's because England's like the kind of country where summer's like, it's nice to have, but the actual kind of humidity in this country doesn't support it. If you went to somewhere like Spain or something like that, it's like 40-degree heat, you could probably take it because you're probably either used to it or the humidity of it's not so bad. But here, because it happens so suddenly, it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks, and it kind of makes it even worse for you. Though there's a little bit of a breeze right now, but just not that much. But yeah, England's a strange country when it comes to weather. It never knows when it wants to be one or the other. Then P1E, P1E. How about P6E? B5G, S5G, B3G. Ah, both in the match and in my disposition. Thank you very much. My voice shook with embarrassment. My reading of the game, everything, it was all. The world in front of me flickered black and white. My own utter failure. Oh, he's really running. Ah, Smith. Huh, you're up today. No, just here for a little training. I was just examining your match. He sure is wearing some. Is it wearing something? I can't even read that anymore. He sure is wearing something, that Kiriyama-kun. Because he's low on experience, he misread his opponent's abilities, but got blown away. He must feel like he got stripped naked. I know. This indiscretions of youth, so embarrassing. That jerk, before this match, he went to make copies of only your and Goto's son's Kifu. So it's like that, is it? Goto's son had 20 games and I only have 5 games. I'm right. Man, that brat pisses me off. Well, I've done similar things in the past too. I was never this direct about it though. Oh well, everyone does it, I guess. Though we try not to remember. Well, next you're up against Goto-san. Give it your all. Though it's kinda scary. His face. Yeah, I wanna win. It really is frightening, though, that face. I want to win and go up against Sawyer? For the title. Man, I'm hungry. Want to stop off somewhere? I'm a bit... What? A girlfriend? No, something like that. Geez, go ahead, it's fine. Go. Oh well, thanks. Good job today. Hello, Bo. How's your health holding up? Really? Yeah, I won, yes. Oh, you already saw it online. But that guy sure is interesting. He's an odd jumble of stubborn and meek. I might have ripped him apart, though. I'm starting to understand what you were talking about. Is that right? How about we invite him to the study group? Later at Smith's house. I love the cat. The cat's amazing. Chapter 28, end. Oh. I remember I love that chapter so much, and the actual episode itself, because it kind of just opens up so much about Rei's character. About his stubbornness as a person. That's what I kind of like about it. You have to support the character, though at those kind of points you're like, do I though? Do I sit here and go, well look, I support what you're doing here. I know your intentions are completely alright, because you're really just trying to defeat a character who's really kind of, who you've got a grudge against. Who you very much have a right to have a grudge against, but it kind of, at those points, freaking hell, please, I was going past. At those points, you lose sight of everything else around you. That's the problem. That's what kind of gets characters to the point of no return. That your actual grudge for the person gets so much that it literally kind of eclipses all your judgment, and it happened in that game. Like he didn't see him as anything else like besides a stepping stone or a kind of like a roadblock in his actual kind of advancements towards Goto, and it kind of was his undoing when you think about it. Like he didn't see him as an opponent. He saw him just as a roadblock, like as nothing. That's why he never really kind of looked at the way of Shimada at all, because he's like, oh, I'm gonna win this. He's like, I don't like these kind of games because it just prolongs everything else around it. And it's kind of like, how did he get this kind of, in some sense of the way, stubborn and everything like that? He's not been this way this whole entire manga, and it's kind of one of those things that teaches you what a grudge can do to a person to a point it becomes its undoing. Like, it's what I kind of like about it. It just tells you what the kind of thing does to a person. But anyway, let's start with chapter 29. Just a bit of water. When I was awake, I couldn't stop thinking about things. So I slept and just kept sleeping. The whole time I had been thinking only of clashing with Goto. Back then I often couldn't sleep, so I would study Kifu like crazy. I'd go a few days without eating or drinking anything, and then sleep like a corpse. But eventually continuously sleeping became impossible. Wow, what is this? I was dehydrated. It should have gone away if I drank enough liquids, but any liquids I put into my mouth just came right back out. I can't say that word now. Bewildered, that's the one. This is bad. What do I do if I lose any more hydration? I have dim memories of slowly licking Pocari with a bit of salt a little at a time. It was over half a day before I could get up. The next day, almost crawling, I finally got to the nearby convenience store. I'm an idiot. I'm even bad at being depressed. Damn. Marketing, business, programming, waiting tables, security. There are many different kinds of jobs in the world like these. Driving, cooking, staff. But pretty much all of them, yeah, that's right. It's still 2 years until I graduate high school, and until then, in order to earn money to pay my rent, yeah, it looks like all I can do is keep playing shogi. I've got a lot of matches I could be in trouble with. I could be in trouble with absences. Somehow I've at least got to go to school in order to be able to choose my own path. Is what I thought when I enrolled for school. Jersey team over here? Let's go, yeah. It started right off the bat with Phys Ed. Is it Phys Ed? I never know, because over here it's just called PA. That's why I never know how you actually pronounce the words Phys Ed. I think it's how you do it. It's physical education, but here it's just called PA. That's why it's just a little bit different how we do it over here, I guess. I don't know anymore. I don't know how everyone else calls it in the world, but we just call it PA. On top of that, it was basketball. Where am I supposed to go? But I guess I'll just run and try not to draw attention to myself. Wait, the ball's coming towards me. I remember this is kind of like me in school as well. What do I do? The goal is way over there, so do I pass it on or something? I'll take that. Ah, you idiot, damn it, what are you doing? Seriously, what am I doing? This isn't right. It kind of doesn't have any taste. It's like I'm biting into sand. Am I not running away now? I wanted to have the memory of not running away. What if all I'm doing is pretending not to run away? What do I do? I kind of don't know anymore. This is kind of different from how I imagined high school. I thought it would become something I would finally be able to do right. I thought that if I left home, paid my own rent, and made my own living, then that would make me an adult. And if I became an adult, I thought I wouldn't need to cry anymore. Kiriyama, huh? What's wrong? You're crying? Wait, what is this? A job magazine? Huh? What's going on here? That's Gmail. A high school student sitting alone on a staircase reading a job magazine? There's something weird about this setup. Jeez, I don't know what to ask first. Jeez. What's more, you're only the fifth middle school pro in history. You're supposed to be a star of the hope of the shogi world. First, just eat. It's okay, just eat this. So you're one of those people who eats cold things when you're depressed. Isn't that bad for you? Get something warm. When it cut your HP in half. Hey, Kiriyama, maybe you should think about going to your master Koda-san's house again. But you've got rank deciding matches and tournaments going on all year long. Going to school where you got tests and stuff. You're going to school where you got tests and stuff, and you're also making your own food, doing your own laundry and other things around you. It's too much for a 70-year-old, but you're going to go over your capacity. What happened at this CCO championship was too bad. I saw it online. That Shimada 8th dan really is good. I was in the same class as Soya Meijin, but he never stood out to me. But he was truly persistent and made it up to an A class. He's the picture of hard work. That man. It's amazing how he frequently been a contender in title matches. We're the same age, so it interests me. You sure know a lot about him. I love their interactions. They're some of the best of the manga. Also, Shimada 8th dan is both pervasive and passionate. He openly studied. He opened. Can't say his words now. He opens a study group and studies with younger players. That reminds me. Have you ever done that? Join a study group? No. With those sorts of things, then why don't you try joining one? One like Shimada 8th dan's study group. Which reminds me, I heard that Nikaido 4th dan's in it, but why? It'd be such a waste not to. Then say you can learn a lot from an opponent that's defeated you, right? But jeez, all that's been coming out of your mouth, all that's been coming out of your mouth is but. It'd be great if assembling 100 butts would make a door open, but to be perfectly honest, there are no doors like that. But no buts. Hey Anisha, why can't you call Kiriyama-san directly? You said you were going to invite him to our study group this afternoon, didn't you? Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it really comes down to this. All I can do is wait for him to ask himself. But it's one of those things. Yeah, one of those things. So it's one of those things. Yeah, one of those things. At 29, end. I think I need to get back into the groove of reading again. So kind of taking a long break in between streams lately, because heat gets to my head quite quickly. And I get massive headaches. So I have to kind of take breaks every so often just to kind of not, in some sense of way, just kind of overwork myself to a point of no return. And when I used to sit at a computer for more than 5 minutes, my brain's been I don't know why. So that's why I probably haven't been doing as much as I should be doing recently. But hopefully over the last next couple of days, I can get this thing caught up to 45, and then carry on that way. Hopefully, that's better. So, chapter 30, Moonlight. Don't touch me, but don't leave me. Kyoko was a girl who was like a cracked glass. No matter how much water you poured into her, she would never be filled. She has a family, she's blessed with good looks, and she's got the support of those around her, and still she's always riddled with despair like a starved beast. And the crack in the glass was put there by none other than Father and me. I'm leaving home. I'm in love with him. You can't. That man has a wife, doesn't he? She's been hospitalized forever, so he's got to be lonely, hasn't he? Dan won't allow it. So what? I can't allow what he did either. I haven't forgotten how he labelled his daughter a failure in life when she was just in her second year of middle school. Saying things he didn't mean, like there's life outside of shogi, It's true, Shogi isn't everything. Quit lying. Both you and Dad don't have anything in your heads besides Shogi. I've had enough of it. Of the two of you feeling sorry for me, treating me like I need to be handled delicately. It's infuriating. Just how long do I need to feel miserable like this? I'm leaving. No matter where I go, there won't be anyone who will miss me. But you're different, Ine-san. Father doesn't think that you are unfortunate, right, Ine-san? 10 AM, match is starting. It's the first day of the third match of the finals for the tournament to determine who will be the challenger for the title of Shishio. Right now, in a special room set up just for the match, those two are quietly facing up against each other. I wonder what kind of fight it's turning out to be. When I played Shimada-san, I was overcome by a strange sensation, as if I had set foot into a sea of trees. I felt as though I was getting tangled in an overwhelming something. It was like being constricted by something that made absolutely no noise. I wonder what kind of game he's playing against Goto. Sensei, I have 3 months worth of absent notes. Oh, Kiriyama, check this out. It's incredible. 2 hours in and the match looks like this. This is... Just by looking at how many moves have been played by that point, it felt like I could hear the dull sounds of heavy bones colliding with each other. Whew, this is getting heavy. I was wondering how those two who've both have soulness as their setting point would play against each other, but it was like they were pounding each other. Well, they still are. Wanna go? Huh? Where? To Shogi Hall. But it's not a title match, so this blog updates at odd intervals. It would be a better learning experience to go there and watch the match in person. But I've got so many absences. Smack! Ow! It'll be fine, just go. He's got enough, right? He's just barely in the clear, right? I couldn't have done something to disgrace myself as a teacher, right? Yo, Kiriyama! Ah, he moved. G4C, huh? You're kidding, right? I've never seen something like this from Shimada-san. Is he just gonna throw his bishop away here? I've never seen Amnesia do something like this either. From the room past the dark hallways, the one reserved for special matches, I felt as though the presence of those two people had seeped all the way into our room. What? Something is wrong, isn't it? How did their moves lead them into this? Is it because of how long they've been playing, the depth of their accumulated experience, the weight of each of their exchanges, or all those things? A battle between two humans that trust themselves. The match ended at 9 PM. After 158 moves, Shimada 8th Dan After 153 moves, Shimada 8th Dan resigned. The first game of Tsuyoshi Championship Final Tournament's third round began with a win for Goto 9th Dan. Rei. This place never changes, does it? It's such a depressing building. I've always hated it. Same with this dark street and that gloomy shrine. Ine-san. Yo, well, the stalkers are all together. Why are you here, Kyoko? Well, and you were raring to go up against me, weren't you? What happened? I guess Shimada was just a bit too good, was just that good, huh? Don't underestimate the A-class. Hey, are you really leaving? I didn't want to leave. Hey, wait. Are you running away from me? But we couldn't be together anymore. I wanted to grow up fast. I thought that unless I could stand on my own 2 feet, the people that were important to me, I couldn't protect. Ah, damn it, I lost. Because I got a move behind on that bishop exchange. Whenever I tried to take the initiative, he would fire back immediately, with such glee. He really is strong. that old man, and he's got such a scary face. On top of being strong, he's so mature. But there's no way in hell I'll lose next time. Yeah, of course, Anisha. Chapter 30, end. Let's check the sound quickly and see if it's working fine. Whew. It's getting hot in here. I can't actually shut the window, because if I shut the window, this room will literally turn into a sauna. Like, bad sauna as well. So I have to keep it open. As I probably would not be alright afterwards. I've done it beforehand. When I used to do actual like reviews, I used to have to close the window, and it was the worst feeling ever, because it was just no air in the room, and if I couldn't record, I would be there for like half an hour at a time, and afterwards it was just I didn't know what life was afterwards. So I was like, what is this? What is this air? So, chapter 31, massive ego. I see. There's no way I could live with that. To bolster out sharp language in front of a girl is one thing, but in front of the girl you want, you'll get shot down, right? Well, that's as a man. Well, as a man, that's something to be remembering quite a few things from his younger days. It was, if it were me, I'd slice my belly open. I'd shave one eyebrow and go live alone in the mountains. Is it really that bad? There isn't anything to be worried about. When Rei-chan said, "I'll do my best," I really believe did his best. So even if he fails, nobody will laugh at him. But exactly, what's the use in being embarrassed? I failed just means I took on a challenge. It's a lot more honest than doing nothing your whole life and just laughing at others. But the boy's still young and serious as hell. It was with an opponent he really wanted to win against, right? I never seen Rei-kun show such belligerence. Belligerence? Is that how you say that word? Well, he might have gotten too walked up in it. He's probably eating nothing but sweet buns and ramen again. What do we do at a time like this? There's nothing you can do about but leave him alone. Embarrassment you got at work can only be redeemed at work. Until the boy thinks I've redeemed myself, the only thing he can do is fight for himself. Eventually he's gotta be an adult, and he'll realize it whether he likes it or not. That no matter who it is, among those who fight on the front lines, there ain't nobody who hasn't felt there's some amount of embarrassment. See, that's a freaking good ass panel. Actually, that's actually an amazing thing. I quite like the idea of the actual railings in front of Rei as well, because it kind of feels trapped. It's that whole entire idea of him feeling trapped in his own mind, like kind of him himself is kind of holding him back. It's actually kind of neat. It's actually kind of like a really telling like kind of panel. I quite like it. Man. Shimada, you know, recently you're looking like you're older than me, don't you think? What about you with those muscles? That must be hard to maintain, huh? Do you secretly go to the gym a lot? Must be tough being such a narcissist. Now then, shall we get going? So awesome. What of that sophisticated personality they've got? Is that A-class? Will that just naturally be brought about if we become A-class? Anisha, you're so cool. I love these characters now. I realise they come into this point and it's just they're some of the best of the whole entirety of the anime. That's weird. I don't smell it one bit. That's weird. I don't smell it one bit yet. The personality. I'm in B1 right now. Do you think when I'm A-class I suddenly start smelling like that? Don't you smell it? It's got to be starting to brew, right? I think it's a safe bet to say you guys do smell, as long as you're peeping from behind those bushes. 10 o'clock. The game is starting. 3 matches to determine the challenger for the Shishio Championship. The first game went to Goto Knife Dan. This is Shimada-san's last chance. Last time was surprisingly a real slugfest. I wonder what sort of game it will be this time. I want to watch, but I want to watch it so bad. Here, I've finished totaling your attendance days. We'd like to see. Yes, I hereby confirm that you can't catch any more colds or get appendicitis. Well, you've already got 2 days set to take off for ranking matches, so I can't help that. And if by chance you progress even one round in either tournament, you'll be at the precipice? I think they pronounce the word. And just in case anything happens, do aim for above average scores in your finals, okay? About the scoop of the test, ask your friends is what I'd normally say, but the exams might be over while you're still looking for friends, so I don't ask all your teachers in your place for you. Here, it's just hard repeating a year. You might end up being called old man by your classmates, you know. You're exactly right, you really are a lifesaver, but what is this feeling? Meanwhile, in the special game room, it's a slugfest, and what's more, they're even more tightly locked together. Actually, are they relying on attack power even more than last time? For some reason, everyone was sitting in Seiza. In Seiza? 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 8 hours later. What's more, of all things, Ryosha knew Gyoku? Jeez, just quit already. This is so immature. What the hell kind of situation is it where you think, well, if I get my king across, then I'll win, won't I? What's with that? Is that the sound of thunder? The light's not coming from the pieces, right? 3 more hours later. I won, Bo. Yeah, you were great, Anisha. The young ones realizing just the materiality of what's been lost. What's wrong, Bo? Nothing. I just haven't gotten a reply from Kiriyama. Is that right? Maybe I knocked his brains out a little too hard. Hey, Bo. Why did you want to get Kiriyama to cheer up so badly? Kiriyama. It was he who got me out of being stuck in the mud when he knocked my brains out once. I spent a lot of time in hospital ever since I was little. All I had to support my heart was to get stronger on the board. While I saw the other kids in my grade were all running around outside having fun, at the corner of my eyes, I just continued to immerse myself in shogi. But the stronger I got, the more weaker opponents would lose their nerve and resign. I think they were cowards. I got so frustrated, I got pissed off and really annoyed. It was at that time when I was reduced to a massive ego. Here. Alter. Then I met Kiriyama. I met Kiriyama, got my brains knocked out, and was saved. There is someone stronger than me, a human with more ambition than me. I'm not alone, I thought. I see. Somehow I get it. Hey, wait a second, Wait, I said, hey! What's with you, Goto, you idiot? I don't even care anymore, okay? Who was that, Goto? Yeah, I wonder, are they fighting? I love them too as well. There's not one character which I don't like in this manga. What is this feeling? Like I lost? No, there was nothing. Damn it, I'm definitely gonna win the next one too. Come on, Bo, let's go back and work on our next plan against him. Yeah, I knew you were up for this. That's why you're my amnesia. Meanwhile, what Kiriyama was doing at that time, since they discovered a regrettable miscalculation, so you were already 2 days short, made up for his mistake with a ton of reports. Sensei, I'm kind of really sorry. Chapter 31 end. My phone will not my watch. Damn it. There we go. I think my watch is going up quite a bit. Oh man, mustache man comes in now. throat is really giving out. So, 32, run through the night. Huh? You never did any lab experiments? They all landed on your absent days. Ah, jeez. I can't get a hold of Sasaki-sensei. Shit, and we just one more. Shit, and just one more to be done with these reports. Sensei, that's enough for today. We can't do anything about it. No, we're better off getting this done sooner. Let's go. We'll do the experiment now. Huh? How? The Hoka Club. We'll just ask those guys. Arson Club? Hoka Club. Hey, is Noguchi here? Huh? What's going on, Sensei? What business might you have here? Second year, Noguchi. I realised how kind of lengthy this actual chapter is when it comes to wording. What you're making, Noguchi? It's soup. I bought a kit. It's soup. I bought a kit at Bazaar. I thought I'd top off the club budget with this. Huh? You can make soup? Soup. It's soap. Damn it! It's soap. Sorry. Let's go. It's from the top. What are you making, Noguchi? It's soap. I bought it at a kit. I bought a kit at Bazaar. I thought I'd top off the club budget with this. Huh? You can make soap? Yes, you can. Here, like this. Prepare olive oil, sodium hydroxide, and distilled water. While ensuring ample ventilation, mix the sodium hydroxide and distilled water until well blended. Add the olive oil while heating the sodium hydroxide solution to make the soap base. Pour into the mold and let it sit for 1 day. After it's hardened, remove the mold and cut it up using a kitchen knife. And this is our club's new spring project. It's mugwort choco banana. It stings. Noguchi, this won't sell, right? How rude. With the germ-killing components of the mugwort and the chocolate and the banana, this has 3 of the things required for a favourable impression on the ladies, you know. Ah, excuse me. Ah, hey, what did you just spill? How could you spill our precious mugwort all into the grapefruit? Wait a sec. This smells... It's so refreshing, isn't it? Hey, do you smell that? Smells good. For real, what's that scent? Good job. You're a nice guy. Bienvenue. Welcome to the Hoka Club. By the way, Hashida-sensei, why are you here? Oh man, I forgot what we came here for. He seems to have been moved by seeing Kiriyama-kun getting friendly with other students. We just need you to show us a little experiment so we can do a report. Due to circumstances, this kid has got to go to school while working, so he's short on days of attendance. Right now it looks like he's about to have to repeat a grade, so lend us a hand, will you? With great explanation, please could you help me out? While working, that sounds tough. You're a labouring young man, huh? Alright, if it's for science, then we, the Hoka Club, will gladly lend a hand. Thanks, Noguchi. I knew you were a good guy, though you've aged quite a bit, Sensei. As have you, Sensei. Unless you reform that manner of speaking, you'll never have a successful career. They sure were nice people, those guys from the Hoka Club, right? Maybe you should try joining that club. Apparently he was given a souvenir, soap and hand cream handmade by the Hoka Club. But I really am glad, huh? Seeing you talk and laugh with other students back there. It had a Clara stood up sort of feel to it. But like what happened today, even when you have a problem that you have no way of solving on your own, if you work hard on it with someone else, then you can overcome the problem. If you borrow someone else's strength like that, then you just need to give them your strength in return next time they have a problem. That's the way the world works. You know, this is important. Okay, you've got that. When you've got no way to do it on your own, rely on someone else. If you don't, the truth is no one will rely on you either. At that moment, a Akari-san and the others suddenly appeared in my head. Even though I had been focusing on nothing but reserving myself, the truth is, I had been relying on them. Just once. Okay, that's the end of the old man's lectures. Huh? Think about what comes next on the train. Run. Yes, just once. It's the final game between Goto versus Shimada. Aren't you going to see it? See, that's what you needed. That's what he needed. Your sensei telling him that. When I got to the hall, it was a little bit past 8 o'clock. Huh? No way, it's over? Which one? Which one of them won? I remember this one was the kind of confusing episode. I thought, oh my god, he actually lost, because it looks as if he's lost. Like, Goto goes straight out to actually go and greet all the paparazzi and everyone like that, and then you got Shimada sitting there like, kind of as if, oh my god, I've just lost this, but it's actually not. Shimada 8th down and 1. How many times have I seen this? This scene right after a game. The one who realised defeat arranges their thoughts to say their final words, then leaves. But the one who won, who hadn't misread anything up to the very last instant, continues to strain themselves. So in that regard, right after a game, the winning side often gets severely exhausted. And because of that, they may not even be able to articulate properly. Congratulations, Anisha. What? Don't cry, Bo. I'm not crying, I'm happy. It's not just dropping from my eyes, it's all... Man, that's gross. Shimada-san, would you care to make a few comments? Well then, tell us about your aspirations and your enthusiasm for playing Shoya Meijin in the Shuishi O Championship. I can't be enthusiastic, huh, Anisha? No, I mean, just getting the challenger ticket has gotten me in this state, hasn't it? When I try to consider what comes next, or rather, when I think about it, I can't even believe there is a next, sorta. I mean, Soya is even more of a monster than Goto, right? She went 8th Dan. You're a bit too honest, by the reporter. She went 8th Dan. Ah, you're from the Tohoku Journal. This is really far. My name is Uzumida. I came as promised for an interview. Get yourself together now. The old man and old ladies in your hometown fan club have their hopes riding on you. Yeah. And you're a lecturer and a hero at our kids' shogi club, Shimada-san. Right. I guess you're right. That's right. As if the word hope was pushing at his back, the preliminary games was another fierce battle. I'm delighted that I've become the challenger. The Suishi O Championship match makes for the 7th match, but Shimada-san slowly started talking, like he was squeezing out. Have I ever thrown myself into something like he has in order to get a win before? Each word, I get it. The place Shimada-san is now is far away from where I am. It's a world that I could never reach unscathed. If I'm saying things like I've got no reason to win, and then why is it so frustrating to lose, then I've averted my eyes from that world. And at the edge of it, Kiriyama. Yo, Kiriyama, alone, treads firmly with both feet, moving forward. Suddenly at that moment, my chest squeezed together and a heat welled up in my back of my throat. Oh yeah, sorry bro. Could you go get me something cold to drink? Okay. I may not have anything to give back at all, but is green tea okay? Yeah, thanks. Now then, Shimada-san, I have something I really want to ask you. The study group, please let me join. Want to join it? Sorry it took so long, Anisha. Huh? What? What's going on? What are you guys all excited about? Come on, let me in on it too. He's so adorable. It breaks my heart. Chapter 32, end. Oh man, yeah, I forgot we actually have the a mark at the end. Oops, crap, I was going to read, as soon as how many pages are left. Literally just these couple of pages and that was it. Umino and her happy comrades. We finally made it to volume 3. Oh, we finally made it to volume 3 of March Comes Like a Lion. How has it only been for everyone so far? It's nice to see you again. This is Umino. Mental state at the end of volume 3. Imagery. The populace of Umino village has grown again. We sure have become a big family now, haven't we? Ono-san, Beiichi-chan. And these two are now active as now active as enthusiastic pro mangaka. I'm truly delighted about how much the people of our village have grown. Pen name Kurosawa Archan in Young Animal. Pen name Toriko Shinotan in Feeling Young. I'll continue to do my best going forward, so I'd be delighted if you would watch over Yumino and have happy comrades. And Shinzaki 8th Dan, thank you so much for the amazing columns this volume 2. Okay, this time I have a little story about Yumino and her editor Tidan-san. How do I describe a person like Yumino? She's like a giant creature equipped with 4 giant negative engines, and I would say the informity of the energy in them is enough to fly in the sky. And when that starts to run wild, Yumino's main body becomes something yellowish. The one who would always stand without flattering in the way of Yumino when she's being such a raw pain is none other than the young animal editor Tadashi. Black Tempest. And so, no matter what sort of Gellion she becomes, Tadashi is able to do this using the power of the Force. About those negative engines of Yumino, she had gone on one of those huge rampages when Volume 2 went on sale and became burnt black. Come on, let's go and check the bookstores. I'm scared what if all the readers who bought Volume 1 thought, what is this? It's so boring and nobody bought Volume 2. I'm sure it'll be alright, come on, cheer up. Because she threw an overwhelming amount of her life into it, if this work was rejected, it would feel like her own existence was being rejected by the whole world. So the day before it went on sale, her heart was in terrible state. And sure enough, when we arrived at the usual large manga bookstore, Umino-san, they put your book on the flat displays, and look, we came here first thing in the morning and the stack is already this short. Isn't that great? It looks like there were readers who really weren't looking forward to it. Shaken due to the sudden shift from anxiety to relief, all thoughts had ceased. And after dissolving into mayhem from overwhelming joy, her thoughts plunged back into the death spiral. I'm sure the manager Abe-san was worried about me, so he made a dent in the mountain of books because he knew I'd come to look first thing in the morning. Stop being fussy, shut up, Tadashi snapped. The bookstore people don't have time for stuff like that. Go and apologize to Abe-san. Apologize from the bottom of her heart. Alright, have you calmed down now? The books are all lined up, right? You're happy, right? Okay. That's good, right? It cheers you up, right? Let's continue putting our best efforts in, right? Okay. Something kind of like a AP Kerbal. Every day it's like this and that. But I'm fine. If I think about it, my giant negative engines must be gigantic in terms of the amount of energy they hold. If I just ascertain the direction and release myself, I'm sure they can become incredible allies. Is what I tell myself, so I continue to do my best to work on my manga. So if you would take a look at the volume 4 as well, it made me really happy. Silly Umino. That was kind of adorable at the end as well. Whew. God, my neck was really giving out at that point. Man, my throat was dying as well. I could hear my voice slowly kind of become a little bit more gravelly as time went on. Man. Alright, so that was volume 3. So as of now, we have one more volume to catch up with until we actually catch up fully with March Women's Got a Line, or Sangatsu. I can't even say the words now. Sangatsu no Line, that's the one I was looking for. But yeah, so this chapter in this volume really kind of brought into perspective Rei's character. That's the kind of major thing, and basically that he relies on others, but he doesn't give it back to them, if you get what I mean. Like, it's kind of one of those things that the sensei really put into perspective that whole entire thing with him. Like, if you have to kind of give back to what people give you, you can't just continue in the way you're going. Otherwise, what's the point, if you get what I mean? It's just, there's nothing to it. And after that point, he's kind of realised, because he has in theory been relying on Akari and everyone like that in some semblance of way. Granted, he doesn't kind of see it in that way. He doesn't kind of grasp it in that way. But in some sense of way, he does rely on those people, because they allow him into their home and everything like that, give him food and everything else in between. So it's one of those things. It's kind of, he does in theory rely on for after a while. Even when he was ill, they came to his aid. But he doesn't kind of give all that back in return. I mean, his presence and alone is enough for them, if you get what I mean, because they don't really kind of say anything against him, because they're that way inclined. They're nice people. They're so open to him that it's kind of nice to see those kind of things. You kind of wish that real life was like that sometimes as well. But it's kind of nice that now he's kind of realised these things. He's now kind of beginning to slowly realise his wrongs in life. Like, this kind of volume really just did that. It kind of put into perspective his wrongs. It kind of allows him now to kind of say to himself, look, I know what I must do to go forward. I know what I have to change in order to actually become a better person, because if I don't, I'll be stuck at square one. He has, as the grandpa says, he has to, in his own heart, have to say, look, I'm at this point, I'm embarrassed. He can't rely on anyone else to say that. Otherwise, it's one of those things that people can say to you, look, you're doing good, you're doing great, don't worry about it. But at your own heart, you know you're not doing good. You have to realise it yourself first in order to actually progress forward. You can't just kind of... It's never one of those things. People can say that, but it never changes your own perspective, because in your own heart, you're still in the same way. And Kiriyama is that way inclined. He is stuck in that way because himself hasn't changed as well. Because look at Hina. Hina says, look, don't worry. He's not actively there, but she says, don't worry, because even when he says, I did my best, she knows he did his best. But at that point, he in his own heart knows he didn't do his best, because he didn't do what he was meant to do. He didn't see Shimada the way he thought he should have seen him. He saw him as a roadblock more than anything. Nothing like an opponent, just a roadblock. It's kind of one of those things that it was his undoing. His undoing was that pent up anger against Goto. I mean, it's kind of justified, because Goto's a terrible person. Like, he is. He's not a great person to be around. So you understand his actual kind of thought process. But that should never overshadow your own judgment, because otherwise you just become a shadow of your former self. You're not what you're meant to be. You're not that person we've been following this whole entire time. We want you to get out the kind of hole that you're in. Yes, we in our own heart, we want you to win against Goto. We want Goto to lose, because Goto's an arsehole. We can't stand the bloke. But we don't want you to kind of change with it. We don't want you to become a different person. That's what Rei became. Rei became a different person because he even ignored Smith and just downloaded Goto and Shimada's like kind of games. It just studied them like extensively. But it's one of the things, sometimes you just can't ever kind of, you can't go in a thought process like that. You have to kind of see people how you should see them, never in a different way, because otherwise you lose sight of what you're trying to do. And I like how Sensei really just kind of puts in perspective what he needs to do to change. And I think Sensei really is that person that does it for him. He's that person that really kind of just allows him to see his errors, allows him to grow, allows him to actually say, look, this is what you've got to do. And that's why I think Sensei in his own way is kind of the pinnacle character in this whole entire manga. He's the one who kind of progresses the whole entirety of the plot to a point where he actually becomes, in his own right, a main character, because he is a main character in my eyes, because he's the one that kind of allows for Rei to see his errors in his ways. Granted, at the same time, also, Shimada allows that as well. Shimada also becomes that character as well when Sensei is not around. When Sensei isn't around, Shimada is him. He is literally that character, allows him to kind of see the errors in his ways, see him to allow him to grow, allow him to actually kind of become a better person. So overall, it's one of those things that I quite like. It's one of those things that Rei, now, he knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to do to improve. He knows after that point, he has to realise what he's done wrong. That's the major thing. He can't continue just think to himself, well, I just lost. He has to know what he did wrong. He has to admit to himself it was an embarrassing loss and everything like that. Otherwise, he can't ever progress. He's going to be stuck on the same point forever. So I guess now is the kind of point where you see that. Now is the point where we get to see everything just change, and change for the better. Damn. There goes my throat. So I will leave it here because my throat is literally going to give out any second now. So yes, if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed it does mean quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here, and you want to stay that little bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does mean quite a bit. But until next time, I shall see you guys later.